What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chapter channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks in the NBA streets. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Want you to know YouTube has this weird thing going on with the comment section. I would love for you to roast me about, I don't know, the like on Boston minus 14.5, the like on under 13.5 points for Valanciunas, which, again, this game just started, and he has 11-2 in the first 5 minutes. So, okay. What a time to be alive. That is just absurd. And plus, they're not even winning the basketball game, are they? It's 15-14 Oklahoma City. He just puts up these empty stats because defensively, Chet Holmgren is just still murdering him, but it is what it is. We want to be moving on here to Thursday. Again, we had been 5-1 in the lock department. Caleb Martin, he goes completely ballistic. It's not my guy Delon right there, 5.5 points. He loses by the hook. That was painful. Played pretty decently too when he was out there. Just didn't have all of the usage that we were looking for. Again, 5.5 points. I can't remember how many times you're firing up stat that low. And then Trey Murphy's just getting going here. Hopefully we can split that 1-1. That would be all right with me. But producer Jacob's on hand. He is a Celtics fan, so we must give him his love. Let producer Jacob know that it's okay, that everything's going to be all right. Don't worry about a thing. It's a Bob Marley thing. But anyway, BetMGM, we're going to talk about them. We've got 3 games. We're running back Monday's slate on Thursday. All game 3s, switching venues, which I'm sure the Sixers are excited about. But it's an interesting slate that we have before us. And I found a lean that I like from all 3 games. And then I found one with another lean, a like, and a lock. Did I do that right, producer Jacob? I think that's what I have. I mean, it's just whatever I bet, and then it goes in the ticket, and then it goes to you, and then we post it, and then he's sad. It's okay. It's all going to be okay. You might want to play defense, though, Celtics. Anywho, producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. Game number 1, have a lean, have a like in this one. So there you go, friends. We've got Cleveland, Orlando, and Orlando been pretty damn good at home this entire season. Again, I don't know what to make of that. Is the Orlando home crowd going to stay home from Disneyland for the day? Oh boy, or something like that. I don't know. They're 29-12 at home, though, and defensively, we know how good they can be. It's weird to see Jalen Suggs not even on the injury report, considering his knee fell off of his body, or so it looked like, but not even on the injury report that the NBA released. Again, you can get all of this on NBA.com. He is probable to play. That means we got everybody here except for Craig Porter, who continues to be out. Sounds like he could be back next game, but not like Craig Porter's probably going to be in this rotation anyway. It's going to be an 8-man for Cleveland. We've seen it now. Karis LeVert, Niang, and Okoro off the bench. Garland, Mitchell, Strus, Mobley, Allen. That's going to be your starting 5 per usual. Don't see a lot in terms of potential unders. It's so weird because we have a 199 total. When's the last time you saw a 1? I can tell you the last time I have a 1 on my sheet, and it was when Golden State was playing with 8 dudes and everybody was hurt, and this was 2 years ago. Legitimately, they were playing D'Angelo. Well, it wasn't even the D'Lo season. It was legitimately 2 years ago when they just had 8 rotational humans that they would roll out, and they were trying to get draft stock. And you know who they ended up taking with it? It was actually 2001 or 2021 for what it's worth. They took an absolute nobody. James Wiseman. Well done, guys. Woo! Way to use that draft equity. Probably could have used somebody else. That's for sure. But anyway, Orlando on the other side, plus 475 in terms of series odds. Thought that was a cool thing producer Jacob threw up at the top. So wanted to at least give that a shout out because, again, specifics matter. Specificity matters. And speaking of which, there's a lean that I'm interested in, a like that I'm interested in. I should at least talk about the Orlando side because it's not on either of those. Ingles, Cole Anthony. I don't really think they're going to be long for this series. I think we're going to see if Jalen Suggs is healthier and rolling out there. Him and Gary Harris. Gary Harris had a really, really good game too. Defensively, they want him out there on Donovan Mitchell. It's one of those things where I could see this team really consolidating minutes as we get down to the end of it. Be on the lookout, though. No Jonathan Isaac or Wendell Carter Jr. props, similar to what I've talked about with Jay Val and Larry Nance. Think there's going to be opportunities somewhere, somehow, to be able to take advantage of that when it pops out. But Wendell Carter could end up could end up starting here. He's going to definitely play. But Jonathan Isaac, just 5 minutes in that second half. A little bit weird considering he looked so good in game 1, and defensively, he's a really good ad for them. And Wendell Carter, yeah, it's just such a weird thing because not really like a 3-point shooter or anything to space the floor. This is just a pack it in, try to, pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. Try not to let them score. That's a sin. Kind of like that one. That's one of my better ones. But Donovan Mitchell under 25.5 points. This is actually a lean for me here. I do think in a 199 total, and you're getting a hefty total there for Donovan Mitchell, who's had to take on a lot of this offensive load here for this team. I think it's a good opportunity to short him. Had a really quick first quarter there last time out. Think we can probably fire this one up. By the way, there's a 200.5 over on ESPN. I might take an under there. Anyway, I'm going to think about it. But the one thing I have bet here is Max Strus over 8.5. This is something where I think the minutes could be into the mid 30s here. They've consolidated down the rotations. They're up 2 games. You're going to see really, really sold out defenses to try to force the ball out of Donovan Mitchell's hands. I think we're going to see a big game by somebody else, whether that's Evan Mobley, Max Strus, but by far, Max Strus is the cheapest buy-in here. The usage won't be there the same way it will be for a Mobley or an Allen or a Garland or a Mitchell, but he is out there to shoot. Have no qualms about it. He's out there to shoot and keep Franz Wagner somewhat in front of him. So Max Strus over 8.5 points, simply too low for a guy that I expect the usage to rise as these playoffs progress. Also expect this, friends, $14.95 weekly for the Odd Shopper Premium Tools plus Discord Insider Access. Do you want my betting card every single Monday through Friday? Guess what? You'll get it. You'll get it when you sign up down in the link below. Odd Shopper, friends, the OS Premium Tools, the Positive EV tool for the MLB streets, the NBA streets, plus a ton of other streets. We're talking soccer pops there from time to time, MMA pops there from time to time, whatever there is to find an edge in the market, you're going to find over at Odd Shopper signing up below. And plus, there's this promo code Lindy, Lindy. Bang, 20% off. Get Expert Picks Discord Premium Tools for 20% off. That makes it $12 for your first week, less than $2 a day. Check it out. Would be awesome to see you guys in that Discord. Back to the picks we go. And game number 2. This is the one, well, I'm not even going to say it yet. Knicks, Philly, Tobias Harris. What are we even doing here, my friend? I mean, good Lord Almighty. Also, one of the more frenetic endings you're ever going to see in basketball history. I will call Monday one of the best days ever. If my wife is extremely glued to a television and extremely incapable of doing anything but watching basketball, you obviously had a really good basketball day. And that 76ers to Knicks game on TNT, followed by the Lakers to Nuggets game, was as good as it gets. And in this spot, though, this is the game I have the least amount of interest in betting, mainly because we saw a 76ers team that was very competitive both times around with Joel Embiid. He's one of the top 3-4 players in the NBA. He was the number 1 player in the NBA after the first 2 months before the typical Joel Embiid story, not staying healthy throughout the entire season. So Nick Nurse, he's got some adjustments to make. He's got to have a good talk with his higher power or something, because Joel Embiid, he's going to play here, but they're still going to Buddy Hield for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, but it's going to have to be so much Kyle Lowry, Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. You might see 35-plus minutes for all 5 of those guys. In fact, other than Nicholas Batum getting moved in there alongside Oubre and Harris, where, again, Harris eventually might get benched. And that's the main thing that I'm worried about betting in this game, because I think 22.5 PRA for Tobias Harris, who's playing 40-ish minutes a night, still something that I'm a little bit it's just tough for me not to fire it up when I see this low of a number for a guy who's averaging 31 PRA on the season. But I still can't do it, Captain. I don't have enough power. And also, I think 76ers fans are going to boo him if he's shooting it poorly. That'll be kind of funny to watch. But overall, that's not the point I'm talking about here. Tobias Harris over 22.5 PRA, but I think taking the points with the Knicks isn't the craziest idea, but it's not popping for me. When you work through these rotations, Josh Hart played 48 minutes every single second of that last game. OG Anunoby, Isaiah Hartenstein, or Mitchell Robinson, again, it went 30-18, and then it went 18-30 flip side between that center rotation. Hard to really pin down what minutes are going to look like. Hard to pin down what exactly is going to happen with some of these guys. I thought about Josh Hart unders, and then I just realized, well, it's baking it in for him to play 42 minutes, and that might be 6 minutes too low, which is kind of funny to think about. So it's a very difficult game for me to bet. I think I'm going to kick my feet up on the couch and watch this one. I'll bet on Cleveland, Orlando. I have more props that I'm interested in firing up potentially tomorrow with them, but in this spot specifically, don't think we want to get too fancy. Think we want to stay far away from betting this one, unless you have something figured out that I just don't with this series. It's going to be competitive, but Knicks plus 4.5 still feels a little bit thin. This isn't thin though, friends. OddsShopper plus BetMGM. First bet safety net up to $1,500. Get your bonus bets down below. Here's how you do it. Well, you're not necessarily getting the bonus bets. What could really happen is you fire up to, $50, $100, up to $1,500. Your first bet. If it doesn't win, you're getting it back in bonus bets from BetMGM. That is an opportunity to really fire at something good, to build and sustain your bankroll. And if you have DraftKings, if you have FanDuel, BetMGM routinely some of the best run lines that I've seen here lately in the MLB streets, as well as some of the best strikeout props that exist in the MLB as well. If you're in Arizona, if you're in one of those states, again, BetMGM is kind of everywhere here at this point, but it is truly one of those spots where when I'm in Arizona, I'm firing up everything that I possibly can in the BetMGM streets with those strikeout props, because they tend to be the best value. The run lines have been very, very, very value. I almost said like something, not even a real word. Anyway, sign up for that down below, friends. Up to $1,500 back in bonus bets on if your first bet loses. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's get to the lock, shall we? What an unbelievable finish that we had there in Denver. Jamal Murray didn't even have that good of a game. Kind of made fun of himself afterwards to the TNT crew. Really enjoyed that. But Denver, LA, again, my wife was glued to the TV here for this game, and we both jumped off the couch. We're very excited. We do not like the Lakers. That might be part of it. But also, I like money, so it's not that I'm going to go pick on them here, but kind of going to pick on them here. Denver, 1-point favorites. Some places you look, there's also some pick'ems that exist around the entire board, and that's really what I want to emphasize here in this. Shopping for the best lines, it's something that, people who have been betting for a while kind of take for granted. The number one way you can improve is simply to go to OddsShopper. Use the free live odds that we have listed on that tool and just utilize them every single day and bet at the best book that they have for the specific lines. And this is where you have Sugar House at like -104. You have a couple of -104s for Unibet. You have Bet Rivers -104, but -110, -105, they're kind of prevailing. But there's a public book, one specifically, that is at -105 on the money line, and it has edge attached to it ahead of time in the best bet section of OS. And that's kind of a rarity because you kind of have to be early to the party on some of these lines. I think you could bet it right now as long as it's -105 or -110, but you're getting -105 at DraftKings specifically on this money line. Now, I will at least throw this out there that Nikola Jokic going in up 2-0 now. I know Jamal Murray has cut into that assist rate here of late, but Jokic is absolutely out of control. Ended up on that +165 over on FanDuel. I'm a little bit sensitive to what this price is going to be. We saw it close at +115. That's kind of the number that was listed because I basically lock it. My spreadsheet uploads it. +115 was the final number that we had there. +165 was the number we got there on Game 2's triple-double. He converts it there because he plays like the entire fourth. In a competitive spot like this, in a Game 3, in the ability to put your foot on the throat of the Lakers, Jokic is somebody that I will fire up if it gets better than +135. It's not there right now. So want you to be sensitive to the price, but don't be sensitive to this. In terms of adjusted net rating for both of these teams throughout the season, Denver is +5.4 on dunks and threes. They are fourth. They are consolidating the minutes. They can do whatever they want. And Jamal Murray, when you can increase his minutes from high 20s, low 30s to high 30s, low 40s, we're talking about a completely different basketball team, whereas Russell and Reeves, they are selling out defense in the name of offense, and they have to live and die by the three. They have to live and die offensively against one of the more stout defensive teams in the entire association, that being Denver. We're talking about them 4th adjusted offensive rating, 9th adjusted defensive rating, but they play so many blowouts. Again, data. Come this time of year, you have to really ramp up some of the minutes for these main players, and you're going to see a defensive rating that really takes off as you accentuate for KCP. More Jamal Murray, more Nikola Jokic, more Aaron Gordon, more Michael Porter Jr., who has been playing all right on the defensive end here, helps to be 6'10". Denver money line, friends, I am locking it. It's my favorite play of the day so far. Again, we might have a prop that shows up a little bit later. This is my favorite play. Think you want to be firing this up. Again, the Lakers, they were very, very competitive. Prove it to me, guys. I'm getting minus 105 at DraftKings right now, so I'm getting the better side of it, getting inside of that minus 110 number to back the defending champs up 2-0. I think I'll do that every single time. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to that comment section below. Again, hopefully it's working because, again, the comments keep turning off, which, sometimes it's fortuitous if you've had a terrible betting day, like I've had an MLB a couple of times. But anyway, fire it up there. Hopefully YouTube has that figured out. If you go to Twitter or Google or look at anything, you can see we're not the ones stringing off those comments. So fire them up. If those comments are existing, that would be great. Otherwise, smash the like button. Would really appreciate that. Want to keep these NBA videos going for you. Again, for me, not a ton into it. I just love the NBA. Producer Jacob loves the NBA, and I'm betting the NBA every day. Want to talk through my bets with you. If you appreciate that, the least you could do, just smash that like button for me. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Thursday.